How y'all feeling today? What's going on in the building? Yo, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Thank you for the gifts. Shout out to all of y'all. We're going to take another minute or two and let some people come on in. What's everyone up to today? What's everyone got planned for the weekend? I can't believe it's Friday already again. Shout out to all y'all throwing the love. As you guys do know, this is a featured show, so I'm not allowed to respond to the gifts and or shout out to the comments. But I see y'all. I see y'all, guys, and I appreciate you guys being here. We're gonna give another couple minutes to let our guests come in. And once my guests are here, could I please have my guests request the box and just keep the requests there as well. I'll explain the show in a minute, guys. Look at all the viewers coming in. This is amazing. I love to see it. Love to see it. We're gonna give another minute. In the meantime, I just want to let y'all know something. After the show, guys, we have a fave for fave party. And if y'all looking to get your network growing and get your grind on, make sure you stick around. We have a live DJ from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So right after the show, and he's gonna spin up some electronic music like my kind of blends, some little bit of rap or whatever he throws in there. And it's a fave for fave. You can box up and hang out the entire time. But without further ado, let's get this show on the road. First off, my name is Ace. I am your host. This is Heart Rate featured show every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after the rundown. Shout out to all the new top badges and the top badge of the week, Kitty Commander. I just want to say, guys, we appreciate everyone that shows up to the featured show program and supports it. It's not easy out here making a show every week to bring content to the streaming platform. So make sure you show your love, whether it's a view, whether it's a comment. It all matters. It all helps. Check out the featured shows, guys, on the banners at the top of the page on the For You live section. Other than that, guys, it's Friday, and if y'all know me, I'm Ace. If you don't know me, hit that little circle with the star up top. That's a favorite button. And if you want to favorite the guests that come in the box, I recommend that you do because they're all amazing people and amazing streamers, and could be your next supporters. You never know. But please, without further ado, we're gonna bring in our guest. First guest. He's going by a little bit of a name change right now because he just hit a milestone. But he's Ace's Stankfart, and we 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 like to call him by his real name once in a while. That is Chronix. But before we get him to introduce ourselves, I just want to lay a couple of rules down for everyone, guys. I will let you know that this is a featured show. For the comments, please keep it respectful. No swearing. No profound language and things like that, and being rude, racist, all that kind of jazz. For my guests, no smoking, no drinking, or cursing in the box. But other than that, keep them wheels spinning. Thank you. Shout out to all the gifters, guys. I am not able to shout out to the individual gifters and comments themselves because it is a featured show. But there is admins, and if you want to be on the show, hit up anyone in red and make sure you hit us up on the DMs and let us know that you're interested to come and tell your story. Heart Rate, guys, it's a featured show on the app every Friday at 4 p.m. What we do on this show is we have our guests come in, like Chronix, our first guest here, and tell their story about a near-death experience, wild, crazy adventure they've been in, or some kind of story about something that they've been through in their life that gets your adrenaline pumping and your heart racing. All right, but before we introduce him, we've already told you his name. Let's bring in our second guest of the night. We have none other than Shanae, sorry. Shanae. Oh, welcome in, Shani. Welcome in.
Hi.
Give that a little rub down. Okay, there we go. And third, but last but not least, we have used to be Canadian Coffee Goblin, now going by Sinful Nurse. Welcome in, guys. We have an almost all Canadian show today, except for Shani, but she's certified Canadian for the day. All right, so we're going to keep it running. Shout out to y'all for being here, guys. I see you guys. This is actually by far the most lit show we've had viewer count, like by a long shot already. And we only 6 minutes in, so appreciate you guys for being here. The show's finally starting to get some traction on the feature, and it's all because of you guys. So don't be scared to drop some comments. Don't be scared to spam some emojis, and don't be scared to promote your own events in the chat. This is your place to do it, and I give you permission. Go ahead. Other than that, let's get started with the show. This is Heart Rate every Friday 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm Ace, your host. Let's go with Ace's Stankfart. His name's Chronix. Why don't you just introduce yourself, sir? How long you been on the app? When you go live? And what we can find when we come to your lives.
I'm Chronix. I'm 22. I've been here for 15 days now. I don't have a schedule when I go live. I'm live almost daily, and yeah, you find chill place to hang out, some music, and we play some games from time to time.
We love it. We love it. We love to hear it. Love to hear it. Okay, guys, make sure you hit him on a fave. He's new on the app, but I'd say watch out for this kid, okay? Anyways, thanks for being here, brother. We'll get back to you in a second. Shani, why don't you introduce yourself and let everyone know how long you've been on the app and, when we can find you going live.
I have been on the app for like 2-3 years, but I'm consistently trying to go live as of just recently, like past 6 months. I try to go live daily after 9 p.m. because I'm a mama and I have kids, so it kind of fluctuates, but for the most part, I've been a little bit more frequent, and that's kind of it. I mean, we're just chill. We're fun. We don't do anything crazy in my life where it's just a safe place. We relax. We just talk and hang out.
Get in there. We love to hear it. All right. Well, that's amazing. Well, thank you for being here, Shani. Appreciate you. Now, last but not least, once again, we got the sinful nurse. Don't sleep on her. Can you please introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about when you go live and how long you've been on the app.
Well, I would
Thank you for all the love,
now,
by the way, y'all.
I will tell you right now, I do not go live. I rarely ever. If you catch me, I would love to have you, love to chat with you. I run a chill vibe also. You can find me in Ace's box, Frosty's box, that's in the comment. That's about it. I honestly don't stream.
Well, we love to see it, but you're a supporter and you're on the app, and that's what it's all about, getting your name out there. So please hit all our guests with a favorite. If y'all ready and you hear guys right now and you want to hear some wild, wicked, crazy, you know what kind of stories, well, put a 1 in the chat, throw a heart in the chat, spam the chat. I want to see who's all here, because if we ain't got enough people here to start the show, we just gonna cancel it. So let me make sure there's some people up in the chat. All right, so run those comments up. There we go. Okay. I think we got enough people that we can start it off here. All right, first up, I'm gonna ask the ladies to go first, because as much as I like the new kid up here up top, the new kid on the block, we gonna go down to the ladies. We gonna be gentlemen up and around here.
You want to go first?
But this is Heart Rate, guys. Make sure you check this show out every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the Electric Mafia edition. These are all Ace Marsh subscribers. So yeah, if you want to talk yo-ish, then make sure you'll do it elsewhere, because they all are around here for a reason, okay? Anyways, Shani, you're up first. I'm just kidding. We're going to put Coffee first, because I told her she goes last. Sinful Nurse, you up first. Give us your story, girl. Take your time and no stress.
Okay. Well, I come in here with one idea that I was going to tell a different story, but for all the ladies, I got to tell this one, because there's no more terrifying moment in life than childbirth. Like giving birth to a whole other human, that is terrifying.
I remember when I did it. It was crazy.
Yeah, I bet it was. You're a good dad to Rocky.
Dog birth is not the same, guys. Dog birth ain't the same, but
My daughter came early, so I was expecting my son too, but he had to be dramatic, and he waited 3 days until afterward. Ooh. 3 days. I was huge, and they wanted me. When you live in Alberta, they don't give birth to babies in the town that you're in. You have to travel to one of the major cities. So I was an hour and a half away from the closest hospital, and I woke up one night having labor pain, and my daughter's father wasn't around. My son's father that I was going to the labor with, he was at work. Like, I had nobody. So I got in my car, forgot my cell phone, got dressed. I went to the hospital, and they said to me, "Oh, well, you're good. Drive to the city." And I'm like, "What do you mean I'm good? I'm having contractions every 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes. I couldn't even walk in here without having 4. Like, sir, you're going to make me drive an hour and a half? At least put me in an ambulance." No, there was nothing. So I got halfway there, and I ended up having my son on the front seat of my car. It was 2 a.m. It was the middle of a blizzard. And I went through a McDonald's drive-through with my son in my arms, wrapped in a sweater, umbilical cord still attached. And I'm terrified at this moment. And I asked them to call me an ambulance. And they're like, "Oh, you need napkins?" "Yeah, a whole freaking box. But could you call me an ambulance, please?" So the ambulance shows up, and my son's father finally shows up from work, and they come out and they offer him a coffee. I was upset. Like, I just gave life, and he just rolls up and he gets a coffee. Like, I was really upset about this coffee, and I cried about it. But they did let us go home the same day. When I went to the hospital, my son was fine. I lost a lot of blood, but it was probably the most terrifying moment in my life because I didn't know what to do. Didn't have a clue.
No doubt. Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, I obviously have been around a lot of family that's had kids, but myself, I'm an only child. So I ain't got no brother. I ain't got no sister. So I ain't never been around, and I ain't got no kids. So I ain't never been around that myself personally, where it's been like really close to home. So I haven't got to experience that. But I know a lot of my friends like yourselves on here are, you know, single parents or committed parents and relationship parents. But yeah, women in general giving birth, like power. Shout out to all y'all for doing that. We see you. We see you all. So shout out to the ladies in the building for giving birth, okay? Bringing in them new babies, them handsome devils, all the men for us to go be, you know, crazy and you guys hate us. I'm just kidding. Never mind. Moving on. You know, I just want to say shout out to the newest top badge in the building that just got her top badge. Top badge, Sam Emmy. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the community of top badges. Girl, get in there. I see the rest of you guys. This is Canadian Coffee Goblin, are now known as Sinful Nurse in the bottom right. Hit her with a favorite. She just shared her amazing story about giving childbirth, which is absolutely an amazing miracle of the earth, but also something that definitely got her heart racing. I can only imagine. It got mine. Just listening to it, and I started picturing things, and we started going on, and we had to take it back a step. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, guys, thank you all for being here. I'm Ace Marsh. I'm your host. We run this show every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after the rundown, where you find out who your new top badges are, and your rumor busts, and the winners of the contest of the week. Guys, there is a contest going on right now, so make sure you check your leaderboards, support the people that you love, and the streamers that you like to follow, and GTFI, get the in there, okay? I don't know. I was trying to make it happen, but it didn't work. Anyways, guys, I appreciate y'all for being here. If you want to be on the show, please hit up one of my admins or anyone in red in the DMs. Ask them to get you connected with me or myself. My IG's in the bio, and I can get you on the show in the near future. Please come prepared with a story if you are coming. We've had people that don't do that, and they say they're ready, so we don't like them. All right? Come prepared. Step number 1. Bring your stuff, bring your goods, okay? Anyways, guys, moving on. Let's move on here. Next up, we've got Shaniqua in the building. It's Shawnee. We're going to put you in the middle because ladies first. But take your time, no rush. The floor is yours.
So I'm not going to take away from childbirth in the slightest bit because that is hands down, like you said, the most amazing thing I think any human being could do in bringing in life. And it is hard and it is sometimes really traumatic, and I really just think you're awesome for doing that, especially by yourself and in a car. It's so trigger warning, big trigger warning. It's going to discuss blood and body parts and potential death. So just a heads up for anybody that's in the chat, because I do not want to do that because it was traumatic for me. So it's probably going to be traumatic for you. Okay, so I think it was in 2021. I had just gave birth to my son in 2020. So being a stay-at-home mom, you really don't have a whole lot to do. You don't have a whole bunch of a life. So I started to do DoorDash just because I wanted some play money, some extra money, some stuff to do. And plus it got me out of the house. It was really nice. And I stayed safe because I always had somebody with me. This night specifically, I had my best friend and my brother with me. I don't live in the best area, so we actually sometimes would drive like a half an hour out and not too close, but not too far. This night specifically, it was kind of slow. It was really like misty, muggy kind of out, so it was hard to see. The area I was in was really overpopulated with deer, so we were just kind of not feeling anymore, and we were ready to go home. And I thought I'd closed out my app, but it actually went off, and it said, you know, it was an order. It was actually a really big order, so I just decided to take it on the way home. When I was at the restaurant, you have the parking lot, but in order to get to the parking lot, you have to basically go around the parking lot like this. So there's a really tight turn on that first turn. I was driving, and for some reason my music wasn't loud, which is super crazy because we always have the music really loud, like having a good time. And I was about 100 feet, I would say, from that first turn, and I had heard it's so hard to explain. It almost sounded like a giant metal can scraping against the cement. And I looked in my rearview mirror and I had seen a car ramp a curb and flew about 40 feet in the air and hit a tree head on. I immediately went to a state of panic and I couldn't even tell you what I was yelling. I'm sure it was very explicit, but I was panicking. I gunned it around the rest of the road through the parking lot. When I got to an area close enough that I could get to the people that were in the car, I jumped out. I didn't even put my car in park. Thank God my best friend was sitting next to me because she at least put the car in park. My brother and I ran across the street, and the area we were in at that point was very populated. It was a big bar scene, so people were outside, thank God, at least calling 911. But where the car had hit, it was kind of away from everything, if that makes sense. When we got to the car, I immediately ran to the driver's side. There were two people. One was in the passenger seat as well. Neither one was wearing a seatbelt. Both were completely knocked out, and there was a very overpowering smell of burning flesh. So that already hits you in the face. And since it had just happened, there wasn't really a whole lot of blood yet, but you could start noticing from heads and mouths and noses and arms and things like that. So the first thing we did, because we did smell the car, it was smoking. We didn't know if it was going to blow up or what was going to happen with it. So my brother and I got the driver out. She was a female. She was coherent, but I do believe she was in shock just because she had witnessed something super traumatic. And they do believe, the paramedics afterwards believed, that there was a lot of possible drug activity that had a lot to do with the situation. So that could have been why she was in and out as well. She was moved about 30 feet away from the car, sat her down, asked her if she was okay, if she felt any pain, if there was anything going on. And she was kind of really mumbly. And at that point, another pedestrian had came over and was helping us in that situation. And I said, can you stay here with her? I have water in my car. Hold on a second. So I went and grabbed a case of water, brought it over. They were kind of cleaning her up and everything. So she was actually in pretty good shape, given what had just happened to her. She had a pretty good gash on her head, and was going in and out of consciousness, but she was okay. I had yelled over to my brother because she asked for her purse, and I said, how is he doing? And my brother yelled out that he was not doing well. So I ran over to the driver's side. The car door was, I don't know how it happened, but it was jammed shut, because they hit the tree head on. So maybe it was just something jammed it on the side. So my brother, I don't know how he did it with his superhuman strength, but he yanked that door open. The man that was in the passenger seat, he had I would say about 5-inch gash on his forearm. His elbow was fully exposed of bone. His collarbone, you could see the bone. He had a gash from about here to here because his head had hit the side of the window. And he was completely knocked out. I cannot tell you how my heart dropped. I thought he was dead. There was no movement there. I didn't see him breathing. I didn't see any kind of like, I don't, oh my gosh, anyway, we ended up getting him out. We did it very carefully because we didn't know what was going on. At least with the driver, she was explaining that she was okay and like she could feel he wasn't. So we got him down. We laid him down on the ground, and by that point we could hear the paramedics. They just still weren't there yet. So we just kind of sat there and we kept asking like, hey, are you okay? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? We were using flashlights trying to get him to just kind of come to. We were using water. He was very in and out. He had said a few times he was very mumbly, asking names and things like that. The paramedics obviously were coming closer. So at that point we went to stand up to go get the paramedics to bring them over. And it was the saddest thing of my life. This man was crying and grabbed my arm in my hand and I just sat there with him. The paramedics came over. They started checking him over and they started doing the neck brace, and they were getting ready for the, what is it called? Like almost like the gurney, like a handheld one instead of the one, because we were like 30 feet away from the road. They kept asking what his name was and he was mumbling something, but it is so crazy that when you go through something traumatic, I don't think people understand that the person that had the traumatic experience It's almost like out of body. So this man in his head, I think, fully believed he was saying what his name was, what happened, what he's feeling, but the only thing that was coming out was slurs and mumbles. Long story short, the paramedics actually were awesome. They had my brother and I stay and help because we were the only ones that were not intoxicated from the people in the bars and things like that. We ended up getting them on gurneys. Everything was good. They took them to the hospital. So in that aspect of it, though, it's super hard and it's sad to think about because we don't know what happened to them. We don't know if they survived. We don't know if it was, what caused it, if the brakes stuck, if it was from the trauma, if it could have possibly been from intoxication or drug abuse. So that alone was awful. And the only light part of the story is on the way home, obviously we were all in shock and kind of shaky and didn't know what to do. And I was on my way home and I was driving through kind of a ritzy area. And just for like everyone else's information, I've never been pulled over. I've never had a ticket. I am a perfect driver. Sure enough, lights turn on behind me. So I turned my hazards on and I went and pulled in a parking lot. And the cops came up and shined a flashlight in the car. And that was the first time any of us had realized we were covered in blood, covered head to toe blood, like across our faces, across our clothes. And the cop said, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I know this looks really bad. I swear it's not what it looks like." And I started panicking. My hands were sweaty. I couldn't breathe. Excuse me, because I didn't know what to do. I don't know what my registration looks like. I don't know what what they need. So I started panicking. He came to tell me that my sticker on my car was expired, even though I had like the 30-day tag thing, but I didn't know. So then we went through this whole deal and we had to stay there for an extra 45 minutes. They had to check all of our IDs and licenses, make sure we were good to go. They actually, thank God, heard over the radio the situation that happened. So they at least knew that it was true and we didn't like have a body in the back of the trunk or anything. But it was absolutely crazy that we had something that traumatic and insane happen. And then immediately go into something of someone thinking like, you look a little suspicious. But it was something super traumatic. It still triggers me to think about it. There are still times that like it just comes across your mind that like I wonder if that person's okay, or like the smell or the sights and things. So definitely had my heart rate going. It was one of the craziest experiences of my entire life.
Yeah, well, hopefully they did live, and
I hope so.
Thank you for sharing that. Obviously, that's not easy to talk about, but that's what this show's for, is for people to come and share the crazy stories that they've been through, whether they're dramatic or fun and wild. And that's why it's heart rate, guys. But yes, so thank you for being brave enough to share that with us. If that was a fake story, I would say it was pretty dang good, but we know it's a real one. So yeah, it definitely touches close to home. I just want to say, first off, guys, if you don't have these three amazing guests, hit them with a fave. They're all somewhat streamers, half not streamers, but hit them with a fave. Hit me with a fave if you don't got it as well. We're going to move on to our last but final guest. He is named Ace's Stank Fart right now because he is a stanky little boy. But we do go and call him by his real name once in a while, and that is Chronix. So Chronix is newer to the app. We're going to get him to tell his story right after I let all the newbies in here know what they just walked themselves into. This is Heart Rate, guys, every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is a featured show on the app where you can come find our featured guests, tell stories about a crazy life experience, wild adventure they've been on, or anything that gets their heart pumping or adrenaline racing. I am your host, Ace Marsh, and these are my amazing guests, Chronix, Shani, and Sinful Nurse. Let's hit them with a fave. We've already heard from the two fine young ladies here, but nonetheless, let's move on to the stank fart. Mr. Chronix himself, take the stage, my man.
All right, so I'm guessing I'm gonna have to fill quite a bit of time here. So.
Nope, you're good.
No time? Okay, good. I was gonna come up here and talk
10
about.
minutes. You can take your 10 minutes, whatever it takes.
I was gonna talk about choking on a Timbit, so I think we're gonna stick with that one.
Okay.
Well,
what's a Timbit? Why don't you start off by explaining to people that maybe don't know what?
We'll get there. Let it play out.
All right, it's your turn. I'm gonna shut up.
All right, so I'm like 7 years old at this point. Okay. For those who are Canadian in here, there's a coffee shop called Tim Hortons. Okay, they make amazing coffee. Okay, it's like the Dunkin' Donuts of Canada. If you have ever been in Canada and you've had it, you probably loved it. Okay, there's no way that you don't love Tim Hortons. Long story short, they sponsor soccer teams. For those from Europe, football. Let's not argue about it. Now, I used to play the soccer, right? Now, after the game, we used to go to Tim Hortons and get like Timbits. Timbits are little donut holes. It's the middle part of a donut, okay? My favorite Timbit is the chocolate donuts, the chocolate Timbits. So I had one of
Have
those.
all mine, because I want all the rest of them.
You want the rest of them?
I want the rest. You can have the chocolates.
Well, good. I only want the chocolates. Now, I was sitting there and I was talking to some of my friends who I played soccer with at the time, and I tried to fit a whole Timbit in my mouth, all at once. I'm like 7 years old, right? Let's just take that in, okay? The Timbit is like this big, so I put a whole Timbit in my mouth, and I started to choke. I tried to give myself a Heimlich. It's not working. My little 7-year-old arms just aren't strong enough to, unlodge this Timbit out of my throat. I'm starting to panic. I'm starting to freak out. My hands are shaking. I'm sweating and I can't breathe. My head feels fuzzy. So luckily, one of the coaches saw that I was, choking to death on a Timbit, and they gave me the Heimlich. And I swear to God, I was scared. And from that moment on, I have not eaten a Timbit. I have PTSD from Timbits. I don't know if it's the fact that I've choked on them, but yeah, I'm traumatized from Timbits. They're scary. Don't bring them towards me.
So you won't eat the chocolate Timbits anymore?
No, you can have those too.
Wow. So what about donuts?
Well, if it's chocolate, no.
Wait, so now you against chocolate?
I can't have a chocolate donut. It's just PTSD.
Fair
Like,
enough,
look,
guys.
I'm genuinely, they scare me. Like, I don't fear anything, but I fear chocolate donuts and speaking in front of people. So.
Oh, well, I guess you just did both of them right at once. So thank you for doing it. You did a fine job, young man. Guys, please hit him with a fave. This is Mr. Ace Chocolate Donut Eating Chronics, man. So make sure you hit him with a fave. That's his name down there in the chat. Hit the two fine young ladies down there in the chat. But guys, this is where the show takes a big turn of events, and we do a little bit of a fun section of the show. But for all the new people coming in, let me just give a brief introduction to who I am and what the show's all about. I'm Ace Marsh, your host. This is a featured show every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time called Heart Rate. We have 3 featured guests, like you see right here, come to our show and tell stories about near-death experiences, wild, crazy adventures they've been on, or anything that gets their heart racing or adrenaline pumping. Make sure you keep an eye on my Instagram if you want to see for featured guests and who's on the show to support your favorite streamers. But also, if you want to be on the app, if you want to be on the show, and you want to pull up and show off your crazy story, make sure y'all hit me up in the DMs, or we'll catch an admin in the chat. You'll see them spamming the comments right now, and let them know you're interested and send a picture and so on and so forth, and we'll get you on the show in the near future. Other than that, guys, this portion of the show is my favorite part. This is the scenario portion of the show. The scenario portion is when we give you guys a real life scenario, the 3 of you, a real life scenario, okay? And y'all got to give your answer on how you would escape, deal, or cope with that scenario. Okay. At that point, the chat afterwards is going to vote on who they think gave the best answer. Okay. So you got to think. You might want to answer logically. You might want to answer professionally. But I'm going to tell you, the chat don't want that. They want the wild, crazy answers. So y'all got to one up whoever is one up in another. And guess what? You actually win in this show. There's probably the biggest prize I'd say that any feature show gives out. And that's absolutely nothing. So let's go, guys. Okay. Awesome. Moving on. The way that we're doing this now is instead of me giving you guys the scenario, I've changed it up. I'm now going to ask the chat to write their scenarios in the chat quickly, and just do 1 paragraph per person, put the best scenario, and then I'm going to take the best one in the chat. In the meantime, while they're putting their scenarios and I'm trying to find that, can you guys briefly run through some stuff that you got coming up in the near future? If you got any events coming up, auctions, battles, if you're going to host something, if you're looking to get involved with stuff, and just, so when people can come and show up for y'all. First one would be Aces Stank Fire. Why don't you get it started?
I don't have much going on. I have the only event I have coming up is my auction on September 13th. It's the Frightening Food Auction. I'm thinking of getting a brown morph suit and then slathering myself in barbecue sauce and being a big old rib.
Okay. Okay, nice, awesome. Are you and you're looking to get into any other events than that, or just the?
I think that's the only one I have lined up. But
Okay.
if anyone has any events, let me know. I'm down for anything.
Awesome. Well, shout out to Chronix, guys. That's Mr. Chronix here. I see some good ones down there already, and we definitely already got some for you. So I'm going to choose one in a minute. But in the meantime, guys, please move on to Shani. What you got coming up? Shani's a newer restarting streamer again, right? So she's back in action. So hit her with a fave. What you got coming up?
As of right now, obviously I have potential of Ace's show some Fridays, but I am going to be in my first auction. It is going to be White Rabbit's Fall Hops auction. It's going to be September 29th at 9:30. So if you're interested, please come through. Please come show support. I always appreciate it and love it. I actually have had an idea that I think maybe Wednesday night specifically, that in my streams that I might start doing some games like what we do in your streams, like just for fun. More or less like the song quiz and things like that in the Alexa games, or questionnaires and things like that, just so I can kind of get a little bit more foot traffic, have a little bit more interaction with people. And I think that might be beneficial, and it might be a hit, but could also be a flop. So if you guys think so, please don't hesitate to tell me. But that's kind of it right now. And like Chronix said, if there is any events or anything that anybody needs help with or needs spots to fill, please do not hesitate to send me a hi. I will get back to you as soon as possible because I am incredibly interested.
Awesome. You heard it, guys. If y'all have events coming up and you want to put Shani in your event, any kind of auction, battles, you name it, she might be nervous, but give her a little bit of pressure. Pressure always makes diamonds, and I think that's what happens with these events, is you end up making diamonds. So I guess she's in. So hit her up. And last but not least, before we get into the fun part, Sinfulness, what you got coming up? If you got anything?
You know what I got coming up, Ace? I got a conversation with you coming up about how you're going to throw us on here and not tell us you're using us as test dummies for your commenters. Pick the scenario.
I'm not reading them.
I was never
not reading them.
that either.
And I can tell by the look on Shawnee's face. She felt the same way.
So y'all ready for it? Y'all in the chat, can you put a 1 in the chat if y'all ready to hear the scenario that we're going to choose and hear what their answers are? I need all the people that are here that are putting 1s in the chat right now. You guys are going to be the ones that are voting. So if you ain't putting a 1 in the chat, I ain't counting your vote. All right? Exactly. I see those extra 1s coming to the background. Okay, yeah. Now y'all coming in. Hey, okay, yeah. Where you at? Okay, now y'all want to vote. I see y'all. Right on. All right. So now I got to go scroll back up. Where did I go? All right, guys, but this is Heart Rate. I'm your host, Ace Marsh. We run this show every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a show where we have 3 featured guests come and share their story about near-death experiences, wild, crazy adventures, or anything that they've been through in their life that gets their heart pumping and adrenaline racing. We are now at the second portion of the show where we bring on a scenario, and we give them a scenario, and they have to answer how they would escape, deal, or cope with that situation. We're going to do that now. They all get the same scenario. They all get to answer differently. You guys are going to be the voters to vote on who you thought was the best. The way that we do that is a 1, 2, or 3. 1 for Ace's stanky fart up top, 2 for Shani down in the corner, and 3 for Sinful Nurse, okay? We're going to start off, and this time men go first with the answers. And here we go. We're going to choose the lovely young lady, Wiccan Vixen, coming in with a "You're Alone in the Woods." And oh no, sorry, that was the wrong one. There's another one. Wait, there it is. Sorry. You're abducted by aliens. You wake up strapped to a table. There is a ticking time bomb. I'm adding my own spice. There is a ticking time bomb. It's got 30 seconds left. What do you do? First up, AC Stankfart. Run it.
Abducted by aliens. I wake up strapped to a table and there's a ticking time bomb. How much time is left on it?
30 seconds, and you better hurry up and answer your question because you're about to blow. No, I'm just kidding. You got more time than 30 seconds.
I'm strapped to a table. I'm dead. What is there to do? Ask for an anal probe instead? I don't know.
Featured show. I mean, it is part of the alien kind of stuff that they do.
Instead.
Probing is in aliens is normal.
They probe quite a bit.
Yes, they do.
See, you added a twist to it that kind of doesn't work because we're strapped down to a table. There's not much.
We're just gonna. That's your answer. So you're just gonna accept defeat and take the probe.
Asking to be probed instead.
That's your number one, guys. Don't know if we're gonna see any answers that are gonna go with that one, but hey, thank you, Chronix, for sharing. Okay. Hey, you might, maybe. There's a lot of people that used to eat the candies called pegs. If you guys remember the little, never mind. Inside joke. But yo, next up we got Shawnee. Okay, so you are abducted by aliens. You wake up to find out you're strapped down to the table. There's a ticking time bomb with 30 seconds left on it. What y'all gonna do?
The first thing that came to mind was kind of like an escape thing. So in my head, while I'm trying to talk to the aliens and distract them by just having conversation or begging them or whatever it is that you would do, even though they wouldn't understand me, or maybe they would, I would hope that even if I'm strapped down, I still have some kind of range of motion, like my hands or my feet, because obviously aliens do like dissect, and maybe there's instruments next to me, so I can do like a pow pow to an alien and then a pow pow to whatever I'm strapped down to, and then hopefully escape. Hopefully. I can't say what I want to say.
So she's going for the pow pow and the pow pow.
Yeah.
So we got the probe and the probe, and we got the pow pow and the pow pow. And last up, we got the sinful nurse. Well, we don't see what she's gonna run it up with. So you're gonna get abducted by aliens. You strap down to wake up to find that you're strapped down to the table, and you hear a ticking time bomb with 30 seconds left on it. Well, we got one guy getting probed. He's accepting defeat. Like, that's beyond accepting defeat. I don't even know. I think he likes it. But anyways, we got Shanaequa here. She gonna try to fight her way through the crib. And then, we got sinful nurse. What you gonna run with us?
I'm here for it. Like, I want to see their jiggly bits. I want to explore. Listen, but I got 30 seconds. That's all I got. I'm taking that time and I am investigating things I ain't ever seen before. I want to see your jiggly bits. I want to see what you're working with. I want to introduce me to your family. Like, I want to see your alien family. Like, I ain't even playing. 30 seconds ain't long enough.
She's trying to make some alien babies is what it sounds like to me. She's trying to breed with the other side. She's trying to breed with the other side. That's crazy.
I gotta know.
That's crazy, y'all. Well, those are the three answers, guys. Number 1 for Chronix, number 2 for Shawnee, and number 3 for Sinful Nurse. Time to vote. Let's go. I'm watching. Okay, we got some trees up in that shot. Hey, this might be oh my God. This is a clean. I've never had a clean sweep of. Oh, who threw the 2 in there? Isn't that it?
Y'all are.
Why you gotta switch up on us? Yeah, hype man. Oh, we got 2 2s.
The moment
Okay.
bits, it was over.
Y'all
It's the jiggly bits. It's the jiggly bits for her, she says. You know what's funny, guys, is I lied, is you actually do get a prize today. And that's what it is. Boom, with a big one. There you go. Congratulations on winning today. See, you would have came up with a better answer if you knew that was coming. I thought, hey, yeah, exactly. Yeah, y'all. Anyways, guys, these are our 3 amazing guests. Thank you for being on the show. We are running a little quick today, so I'm going to tell y'all a story about me in a minute. But before we get started, I want to let y'all know about some events that I got coming up. I am putting together my first ever event since I've started streaming in this entire world in the universe. So I'm going to be hosting a battle royale that's a style that has never been done before on the app, and it is called a tag team royale. It is teams of 2 versus teams of 2. Yes, it might not make sense hearing it like that, but I've got it all worked out. And if y'all be interested, you got to have 1 veteran over 20 million. You got to have 1 vet and 1 rookie under 20 million to be a partnership. That's all you need. There is an entry fee. If you're interested, come see me on Instagram. Trust me, you want to be a part of this. It's going to be the most lit event you've ever seen. And I've already got it locked down and loaded. So for all y'all want to steal it, try me. We got this done and deal down, baby. Let's go. Other than that, y'all know I got this show every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then next, right up after this in 28 minutes. Is that right? 20 minutes? No, you. Sorry. 18 minutes. 18 minutes. Yeah, we got to go back to school. 18 minutes. We got Chop the God. I think that's what he's going by now. Anyways, Chop. He's coming through. DJ Chop, we're going to call him. We're running a Fave for Fave party from 5 till 7 p.m., maybe even later, where we allow a full box party, the comments to run, the drinks to flow, the smoke to blow, and the comments to roll. I just made that up. That was pretty good. I think that was.
It was good on the fly.
That was pretty
It was
fun.
impressive.
I was pretty impressive. I think I got an award for that. Gold stamp. Let's go. Bam. Okay. Anyways, guys, I'm Ace Marsh. I'm your host. This is Heart Rate every Friday. Like I said, if y'all want to be on the show, catch an admin. Shout out to my admins. We have Emoji J, Top Badge, Beautiful Blessings. We've got, we have Dreammaker, and then we have our newest admin to the team, the only one that showed up that asked to be a part of it, Miss Tyler. Let's go. Welcome to the team. He forgot.
I love you all, but I gotta run. I got to go somewhere.
That's good.
I love you all.
Who did I forget, Dream? Make sure y'all hit Sinful Nerds with a favorite. I don't know what she's talking about. I'm not supposed to read the comments, so I'm not going to. We moving on. I didn't forget you. I was waiting for you to comment so I can say your name when you comment, because you're supposed to know the drill, dog. Anyways, guys, hit those admins with a favorite. If y'all want to be on the show, hit them up. You're always welcome to come back on my show. If you're interested in having me on your show, I'm all about sending dragons, and we'll be on the shows. Yeah, talk to me. That's how we gonna do it around here, okay? I'm just kidding. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. Anyways, guys, we got another 17 minutes. At this portion, I'm gonna tell y'all a story about when I went skydiving. I don't know if any of y'all have been skydiving before, but listen, I've told this when I first started the show when it wasn't featured, so I'm gonna tell it again now that we are featured. But I want to let y'all know, skydiving is probably one of the most exhilarating, but also one of the most peaceful experiences all at the same time. Now, how can you make that make sense? Well, I'm telling you, if you do it, it is real and it is a true feeling. Because when you jump into that raggedy, you know what, old plane, okay, and you jump out and you free fall at over 200 kilometers an hour, 200 miles per hour, whatever it is, and you can't breathe, and your cheeks, and you can't breathe, and you're trying to get down. You think that you're about to, like, your life is over because you just free falling faster than any car you've ever been in, and it's crazy, okay? And you swinging birds off on the way. And, no, that part didn't happen. But when you free falling, and then all of a sudden you pull that chute, and then you chill through the sky for 8 minutes with pure, utter silence and bliss. And I'm not talking anything. You can whisper a kilometer away and have a conversation with someone whispering another kilometer away, and that is not a lie to you. I swear to you, you can feel the mist as you fall through it. It is the most grounded level you could feel when you hit the ground and just go through that experience of, like, I don't know. It's a whole outer body experience, but in your own body, because it's something that's just not normal. You're flying. You literally fly. It's phenomenal. So for anyone that, gets the extra money in their future or has the chance to take advantage of going skydiving, y'all think it's dangerous. The most dangerous thing in the world is to drive on a vehicle or walk on the side of the road. So y'all do it every day. So don't be scared to get out there and live your life. And that's why we got this show on the app, to bring a little bit of the adrenaline junkies together so we can get a little bit of fired up weekends on Fridays and get this show on the road. I got an extra 15 minutes. I'm not used to shutting it down this early. But I think I got Chronix that said he had another story, and I know Shiny might be able to put one together. I got stories too. So if y'all are still here in the chat and y'all want to hear some more stories before this fave party, why don't you run it up? Let's run it up. Let's hear. You want to hear more stories, guys, or what? I do want to just do a quick shout out to all my gifters, y'all. Shout out to the top gifters of the stream. We have Top Badge, Nadine. Please hit her with a favor. She's an awesome gal. Go see her. Check out my fellow Top Badge there. We have Aces Stankfart. He's also one of our guests today. We've got Demon Time. We've got the Phoenix. We have the newest Top Badge in the entire app. Top Badge Sam Mammy. We've got Kim Mornings. We've got Ron. We've got Big Rig, Sushi, Cloud9, Fester, Dream, Prolific, Agent 47, Soul, Papa Bears, and Alyssa. Congrats to all y'all for making the board today and being a part of this show. Shout out to all you guys. Thank you for the blessings. I can't really acknowledge throughout the show, but I do see you guys, and I appreciate y'all. We want to see more. They want to share, guys. So, Chronix, why don't you take it away with your next story? We're almost done anyways.
So
but just tell a quick story here. We're going to run it out.
Fudge. Damn, you put me on the spot, bro. I get nervous.
You tell the story about how you got to 2 million subscribers on TikTok.
that's a good one. In all honesty, so I started posting content when I was 12 on other mediums. I had been on Mixer. I was a partner on Mixer. I was a partner on Twitch as well. I gave up that partnership to get sponsored by a dispensary here locally, and honestly, the best decision I've ever made in my life. After that happened, I switched over to TikTok and started posting gaming-driven content, and yeah, I had posted probably 1,000 videos on TikTok before the first one ever blew up, and then after that one, it kind of just snowballed and continued to
lead him to here today on Meet Me and Scout, which we promote and we love.
Yeah, I've been here for 15 days now. We just hit our 300,000. Actually, Ace just hit that. He hit the 100K bonus and a 10K, which was absolutely amazing. That was exhilarating. You know what? That was exhilarating. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, can you? I shouldn't acknowledge that, but
that's okay.
But yeah,
that's awesome. Yes. So thank you, man. Thank you for explaining that. We love to see that people are coming from other apps to come to support this platform. I'm a Scout Top badge. We love it here. We support the platform. We support the journey that they put us on. So shout out to the app. Shout out to the featured show program. To Chris Casper running that team. Zach that used to be a part of it. And everyone else that's part of the background scenes, behind the scenes at the head office. This featured show program wouldn't be possible without any of you guys down here, guys. So shout out to the heck of the whole group of y'all for being here, okay, and being respectful and running it up every week. Not only are we hitting 200 viewers within the hour, which is amazing in an hour, but this is boring. Yeah, see you later. Bye, Ariel. And we don't care because you know what? This show is only for the people that want to be here. And y'all don't have to, so you always have a choice. Guys, streaming's not for everyone. If this is something that affects your mental health, make sure you guys take care of that before you come on the stream. But if this is a place that you enjoy to vibe and you got a little bit of thick skin, make sure you pull up for the fave party after this because we got some fun love coming up. But there's always a little bit of spiciness afterwards, so stick around and find out. We like to call that FAFO, but we can't pronounce what that means. Anyways, do you have another story you want to tell, Shawnee? Okay, Shawnee, take it away.
So I'm going to piggyback off of you because I know that you're all peaceful and bliss and in the sky and awesome. But here's the thing. I don't do good with heights. I don't do so well with heights that my now husband, who would have been my boyfriend at the time, took me to Cedar Point, which is in a really very large amusement park. There was a brand new ride called Valravn. I don't know if anyone knows what that is, but it is a very large, very, very large roller coaster that has a 90-degree drop. I don't know why we decided to do that, but cool. But we were on the roller coaster, we were going up, and I was fine up until like the halfway point of the peak. And I was screaming, I think, every profane word that I could have spewed out of my mouth because I was in a pure state of panic. I'm pretty sure I broke up with my boyfriend at least 4 times while I was up there. We got to the part of the drop. So what they do is they like make you still for a second so you see what's going on. And again, I'm screaming and yelling and nothing had even happened yet, and it dropped. And the only thing I remember is like a little bit of the wind hitting my face because I passed out on the roller coaster.
You're one of those people that the videos are all over.
I passed out. It was like this, and then I went like this. It was done. I was out. And then to make it worse, when I woke up, I was upside down. So then I passed out again. 2 times I passed out on that ride. It was a 2-minute ride. Knocked. I was knocked because I cannot kid you. That is the most terrifying thing in the world. Being that high up, like on a ladder, and you start shaking. I was doing that just getting on the ride. We hadn't even done anything yet. I could not. I mean, power to you, honestly, for doing the whole skydiving. That's awesome.
I chase it. I chase that itch. I'm always looking to stand on the edge or be edging.
About that.
But anyways, that's amazing. Yeah. So, well, thank you for sharing that. I will tell you guys something about a near-death experience before we move into the last couple portions here, or last portion of the show. But I will say I actually physically died on paper, flatline, sorry, and died and was brought back. So when I was 13 years old, I got meningitis, sicker than sick, out of nowhere. Within 12 hours, I went from 0 to a temperature of whatever, extreme temperatures. My vision was going big and small. I was over sweating. I couldn't walk. I was like, literally, my body was shutting down instantly. Like, it's killing me. It affects the entire like spinal fluid of you and immune system, and it affects you, and it can kill you very quickly. It's a very, very, very intense disease. And there's nothing that causes it. It's just random. There's two different types. There's two different types of it. There's one that you can have that lasts a long time and you like live with, and there's the one that you get and it can just kill you, or you deal with it and you move on. And long story short, I got so sick and I was in my bed and my parents were trying to take care of me, but I got to the point where I was dying. So they brought me to the hospital, called an ambulance. I get to the hospital, and they have to perform an emergency spinal tap. So where they run all the needles down your spine, and then they retract all the fluid out of your spine. And what that does is that, because that's what's all affected. So they did that, and as they did that, because you have to stay awake for it, because if you're asleep for it, they can paralyze you. So they have to make sure that they don't paralyze you. So you have to feel that going into your spine as you're already sick. And they did that, and they pulled it up, and it killed me. They hit a spot, and it didn't paralyze me. Somehow they don't know how it didn't paralyze me, but it killed me. So they hit some nerve that killed me, and it instantly flat, or the disease flatlined, whatever it was, it killed me, flatlined me. I was flatlined for over a full minute, and then they brought me back with the paddles, and they had to do another spinal tap, where they pull it out of the back, and yeah, it's.
Hey Ace, can you mute me?
I sure can. Yes. Yeah, it was definitely a traumatic experience because I was awake for it. I remember it to this day. But I will say, for all the people out there that want to know what happens when you die, I don't know if it's different for some of y'all, but for me, it's unfortunate to tell you, it's absolutely nothing. So live the life that you got now, okay? Live the life that you got now, because there might not be another one after this, you know what I mean? But that's me. Anyways, for the last couple of minutes, we are just going to run through a couple events that we got. We don't need another story. We're going to run it up into this faithful fave party in a minute. Hopefully our DJ is going to be here in a sec, and we'll see where you at. Chop, if you're in here, let us know. But for the last little bit, guys, I just would like you guys to, one more time, for the new people that have come and pulled up, just introduce yourselves, when we can find you guys live, and if you have any events coming on up. So go ahead. And I do have one last performance after they got. There's a special performance right before the fave party, y'all. And y'all want to stick around for this, because if y'all like rap, if y'all like to hear some custom music, if you like to hear that kind of stuff, why don't we just do that right now? I think it's time. Let's just do that right now. This is our man, our Canadian brother named Prolific.
Hey, yo.
He's a producer.
How's the mic? I came on here because of this mic's better.
Oh, it sounds amazing. It sounds perfect. All
Very
right, guys. So this episode today was based off of the subscribers that rock with me. So I had 3 of my awesome subscribers on here, which was Shawnee, Chronix, which is Aces Stankfart, and Canadian Coffee Goblin, Sinful Nurse, who had to take off early for work. But they are 3 of my awesome friends and subscribers. And because we started getting to over a pretty large quantity of subscribers, shout out to the Electric Mafia. We at number 42 today. Hello. With 2 more added to the group today. But yeah, this is Prolific. We got him to write us a song. So every time someone subscribes, we can rock it and play them their own custom beat. So he's going to perform it live for us. Never been done before. So yeah, let's spin it back, DJ.
Never been done before. I'm going to try to get this beat sounding as good as I can through the mic, but here we go. Is that all right?
Yep. Yeah, turn up the music a bit.
I think this is about as loud as it goes, unfortunately.
No, that's good. That's good. No, it's good now. It's good.
Right. Yo, this a brief intermission to say thanks for the subscription. Yeah, yo, thanks for the sub. You know our crew blowing up. We be that electric mafia. We always going non-stop. Yeah, we know that we rock and we be the best on the block. We always aim for the top. Featured on Fridays, we got the fave party on lock. So come through, don't say you're not. Now you're part of the crew. You know it's clear what to do. We stick together like glue. Ace when he battles, he bodies them like my flow. We be flawless. We be that positive space. We getting lit in this place where you can make lots of friends. You know the fun never ends. Yeah, the sun never sets. All night party like that. Yeah, you know we all set. We flying high like a jet. So hit that box, yeah, requested. We all chilling like penguins. Our crew be closer than cousins. We got so many of them. And now back to the program. Just like traffic, we jamming. Yeah, that's what's up now. Ace Marsh, Electric Mafia, Prolific Trickery. Yeah, thanks for the sub. We blowing up.
Hey, thanks for the sub. We blowing up. Hey, hey, hey. Yo, hit that man with a fave, y'all. Hit that man with a fave and check him out. Y'all want some custom work done, maybe hit him up. You never know. He might do a thing or two for you. But, yo, Prolific, appreciate you, King. Shout out to Prolific Trickery. Yo, he's blowing up, too. I just want to let y'all know. So go check him out on IG. I don't know where else, if you want to talk about where else we can find you and where we can do your music and what you get into. Maybe when you go live and all that kind of jazz. Prolific, take it away, man.
My pleasure, man. Yeah, it's YouTube and Instagram at Prolific Trickery. Or, you can just hit me up and I'll tell you how to follow. But thank you so much, Ace. And everybody have a fucking lit weekend.
Oh.
Okay.
1 minute.
I'm so sorry. I'm not used to this.
1 minute. He's a rapper, guys. He's a rapper. That's part of the rap. Don't worry about it.
My raps are so clean too, mostly.
Hey, in 1 minute you allowed to do it, but hey, it's okay. We got 1 more minute before we end the feature. But guys, I just want to let y'all know that was Prolific. He's the man behind the voice. Okay? So hit him with a fave. Chops, our DJ, coming up in 1 minute. He's going to start the fave party. So if y'all want to get Liddy up in here, and we can get that started in 1 minute. But until then, why don't we have Ace's Stank Fart, also known as Chronics. Tell everyone about what you got coming up, King.
I have a auction coming up on September 13th. I don't remember the time. I have the flyer posted. And then, yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's okay. He's new on the app, guys. So maybe you hit him up if you want to get him in events. I can promise you he's got a lot of energy and he's got good vibes. So hit him up if you want to get him a part of your stuff. I just bit my lip. Oh!
We're unfeatured now?
Yo, 1 more minute. Double check it. Anyways, Shani, what you got left?
Again, I only have my first ever auction. It is the White Rabbits Fall Hops auction. It is September 29th. I am section spot 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please come through, show your support because I would really, really appreciate